Welcome to my channel, Miel Hebraica, and I'm doing a new series now of Ruth. As my previous series, I've been touching very much on the Hebrew. In fact, many of the technical aspects of the Hebrew. This time around, I'm just going to simply do the study of Ruth, and then a few things that relate to the Hebrew that's in that portion, and then on to I'll end up the last few slides of just reading through Ruth. So I found out that many people, when they watch my videos, they watch the first part of it, first 2 or 3 minutes of it, and then they swap on and go on to some other video. So I'd like to get the study of the book done, and then if you want to stick around for the Hebrew, fine. If not, well, move on to the next video. Hopefully it's one of my videos that you're moving on to. So here we go, Ruth 1 and verses 1 through 3. In the days when the judges ruled, when the judges judged, that's Shofim, Shofetim. There was a famine in the land, Rav, and the man of Bethlehem in Judah went to sojourn. He went to stay temporarily in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. Now, in the Bible, famines are often used to, the Lord uses famines to move people around. As soon as Abraham got to the promised land, there was a famine. He had to go on to Egypt. And the most famous move, of course, was during the time of Jacob, at the end of his life, such a severe famine that everybody had to move from Israel over to Egypt. So it is a little bit unusual to go off to Moab. Moab, of course, weren't very friendly terms with the Israelites. Somewhat distant relations because they're descended from Lot, but they worshipped Chemosh, and so it wasn't so good. Moab is towards the east of Judah, and it's up on the higher country. It's a little higher plateau, and because of being higher, has a little better chance at rainfall. It's famine in the land was a very common thing because the land of Judah, Israel, sits between the Mediterranean and the Arabian desert. So if the prevailing winds are bringing moisture from the Mediterranean, fine. But if the winds swap out the other way, and the winds are also constantly coming in from the desert, it'll be too dry to really grow anything. So yes, it is a very common occurrence in that place. Today, everything's irrigated, so it isn't as much of an issue, but it is still, the place is still very, very water deficient. So now the name of the man was Elimelech, the name of his wife Naomi, and the names of 2 sons are Mahlon and Chilion. All of these names have meanings to them. Now I'll get into the next slide as to what they mean and how they function within the story. They were Ephrathites from Bethlehem in Judah. In the Bible, there are 2 places that are known as Bethlehem, the one in the south, which is in Judah, and there's one in the north, among the northern tribes up close to the Jezreel Valley. So this is the southern one. So this is the southern Bethlehem, house of bread. And they went into the fields of Moab and remained there. The term fields is very, very appropriate because even in archaeology, there weren't large cities inside of Moab. There were large cities were on the edge of Moab. They were Kir Hareshet, facing the valley of the Dead Sea. But inland, no, the ground was really kind of too soft to build fortresses. It's very much a chalk ground there, and the ground itself isn't very appropriate for building walled cities. So they were very much fields of Moab, and that's we understand what it says here. But Elimelech, the husband of Naomi, died. Boom, Yamot. He just up and died quickly. You'll find that of the 5 women in the genealogy of Matthew, many of them have to survive tragedy. Okay, now we're talking about Naomi here, but it's Ruth that's was listed in the genealogy of Matthew. So of those 5 women, Tamar, Rahab, Ruth, the wife of Uriah, Bathsheba, and also Mary, all of them had to face tragedy in their lives. So that's one of the common threads that goes through the story, the 5 women of the genealogy of Matthew. Here are the names of the people involved, the judges, Hashophatim, and I've put in the Hebrew, of course, Hashophatim, And then the Hebrew reads from the right to the left. Okay, ha. This is the shofetim. Okay, ha shofetim. 1, 2, 3, 4 syllables. Accenting is on the very last. This is the accent right here. These are vowels, and this is the accenting. And I put this in because Jehoshaphat is the same root. In other words, here you got Shin Petet, Shin Petet. Okay, Jehovah judges. Okay, the judge. This is Jehovah judges. I just put this in, and it explains why I'm willing to use the divine name as Jehovah. Okay, Jehoshaphat, because it is included in a whole bunch of combined names, Jonathan and Jehoshaphat and Jehoshua, Joshua, and so forth. So I'm quite willing to use the divine name in my studies. Beit Lechem, this is Bethlehem, Beit Lechem. It's actually two words together, the house of bread. Okay, house of bread. It's sometimes they'll tie it together with the line here, but Beit Lechem, Makef. But in this case, they're kept separately, so each one does have an accent. I did indicate the accenting on the second one. By the way, all Hebrew words are accented, so this is the accentings at the end here. This one's over here, Beit Lechem. It actually moved up a little bit, so I call this one a Miel. So anyway, Beit Lechem. Yehuda, this is Judah, and it's 3 syllables in the Hebrew, Yehuda, the praising one. Name of the tribe that Elimelech was coming from. And at this day and age, Bethlehem was the northernmost, it was the last town before you got to Jerusalem. Jerusalem's still under the domination of the Jebusites, but Hebron was the south and Bethlehem was the north of this tribe in Judah. Moab, okay, from the father, Moab, and these are descendants of Lot, lived across the Dead Sea. And I always like to picture of them traveling when they went from Bethlehem. They would go down to Jericho, and there at that point they would cross the Jordan. The Jordan had some fords, and then they would be into strange territory when they got across the way. There was a time that the Moabites actually controlled Jericho, and this might have explained a little bit their ability to get over there. But anyway, they were definitely going into strange country. Elimelech, this is Elimelech is here's Elimelech. The accenting is on this one right here, and my God is king. Okay, my God is king. Melech, it's combined. It's like this one. It's combined. The words Eli is my God, and Melech is king. My God is king. God is king. A little bit of irony going on here. If God is king, why did Elimelech take off? He didn't trust God. He wasn't willing to stick around in Bethlehem to wait for the rains to resume. He said, "Oh, I'd rather trust in a foreign land," and he took off to be gone for a while. Indicated this particular Elimelech and Abimelech, and by the way, in Greek translation, we'll translate it Abimelech. Abimelech really had a bad press. It's not well, it looks like a great name, but it means that this person really wasn't trusting in the Lord. So, Elimelech. And now we'll get on to the reading. Oh no, some more names. Naomi. Okay, so Naomi. This is the sweet person, the one with the good personality. Naomi, my sweet person. Naomi. In the very first chapter, we do see play on names here, because she's introduced as Naomi, but with things going really badly for her and things getting rough, and her husband dying and her son's dying and so forth, she says, no, don't call me Naomi anymore. You just call me Mara. Call me sour. Call me bitter. Okay, Mara. And so, humanly speaking, that's what happened. I mean, her life went to pieces. She was blaming God for it. And then, so the first chapter is, wow, things are really in a bad way. And then the next 3 chapters, is the whole book consists of four chapters. The next 3 chapters, it's God rescuing her, the family, the name, and the inheritance, and so Naomi is restored. And the very last chapter does end with a tremendous restoration of her holding on to the child that was born to Boaz and to Ruth. So Mahalon, this is one of the sons, okay, and it's probably a nickname because nobody would really want to name their son this name because it's called Mahalon. The one with the smooth skin, because he's sick, the skin hasn't got a good tone to it, okay, Mahalon, okay, the sickly one. And then Kilion, and that is the one that's kind of worn out, the one that's kind of had it. So Kilion here, this is what this one is. And then Ephratim, this is the Ephrathites. Ephrat is the area, it's sort of like the county or the section that's just around the village or town of Bethlehem. And so this is the southern, this is one way of saying this is the southern Bethlehem. Now, Feri, Peresh, right here in the middle, there's a Peresh, yeah, Peresh, this is Peresh right here, means fruitful, the fruitful place. And so there's some irony going here as well. Namely, the fruitful place was no longer fruitful. In other words, fruitful place ran out of food. So just like Bethlehem, the house of bread, ran out of bread, here, the Ephraim, the house of, or the place of fruitfulness, didn't have fruit anymore. So a bit of irony happening there as well. And now I'm going to get into just simply reading the passage through and without commentary, and I'll try to keep the cursor on spot so you can follow it along, just like following the dot when you're singing a song here. Okay, Va yehi bichme shafot ha shofetim va yehi ra'av va'aretz va yelech ish me bet lechem Yehuda la gur bishte Moav hu veishto veshene banav veshem haish Elimelech veshem ishto Naomi veshem shene banav Mahlon vekilion Ephratim מבית לחם יהודה ויבואו שדה מואב ויחיו שם. וימות אלימלך איש נעמי ותישאר היא ושני בניה. And there you have the reading of the Hebrew, and I hope that you can enjoy it and just keep doing it over and over. I ran a little bit slower than normal, just so that you can catch where, if you would see how it goes. You got the consonants, and then each consonant tacks onto a vowel. Each consonant has a vowel. Sometimes it's implicit, but tishair, he, shene, banacha. So there it is. It's just follow the dot around, and you'll catch the pronunciation of how the Hebrew is pronounced. So God bless and God strengthen you, and may you continue with this study. Until the next time.